know whether the subject will be very interesting for you guys or not. Living around the master. Oh God. Living around the master, catching the master, missing the master, abusing the master. 3 different dimensions. Just this basic 2-3 truths. 1, all scriptures, all literature, all method of teachings can only inspire you, cannot give experience. Understand? It's the first law. All books, all DVDs, when I say all, capital letter ALL, including mine, books, cassettes, DVDs, everything can only create inspiration in you, but cannot give experience. Experience can be transmitted. It's like, you see, experience is like a lamp. Only from a burning lamp light you can pick up, catch. Only from a lamp you can light a lamp. Only from a lamp you can light a lamp. Same way, the Jivan Mukti is transmitted only from a living body to living body. Living body to living body. If that body has to catch Jivan Mukti, it has to catch from a same material source which is living enlightenment. Please understand, I am describing very clearly the need of the master. If that body made out of muscles and the mind made out of thoughts, if it needs to catch living enlightenment, Jivan Mukti fire, it has to catch it only from another one body which is living enlightenment of the same frequency, means like a same flesh and bones. Only from that you can catch. Be very clear, Mahavatar Baba cannot give you living enlightenment. Please understand, I am making a very strong statement, but truth. He cannot give you Jivan Mukti. He can only give you inspiration, experience, some glimpse. But if he wants to give Jivan Mukti, he has to guide you to a person who is in the physical body. In the physical body. Ramakrishna, or Ramana Maharshi, or Mahavatar Baba, or Osho, or J. Krishnamurti, anybody. They are all still in the cosmic plane. Why, you know? With whoever they committed when they are in the physical body. For example, if you are there, when Ramakrishna was there, and you had directly connection with him, and he blessed you, he passed away, still you are here, then he will be there to take care of you. But no new addition is possible after the body is left. No new addition is possible. Now, Mahavatar Baba, all of you I think understand what I am saying. All of you understand what I am saying clearly? Now, if you are seeker, starting to pray to Ramakrishna, Ramana Maharshi, they can guide you to a living master. That's all. They themselves will not be able to give, because it has to be transmitted from this plane, from flesh and bone. That is why the need of living master again and again and again comes back. Understand? That is why no huge organization is able to own spirituality than a living master. Seekers are around me. The reason is, it can be transmitted only from flesh to flesh. The person who is living Jivan Mukti through his muscle memory and muscles. See, I will be living Jivan Mukti without muscles after I leave the body. I will be living in Jivan Mukti, that is not a problem. But because there is no muscles, I will not be able to transmit it to the person who is with muscles. If I initiate you now and give you the assurance, only then I can handle you even if I leave the body. So if you had assurance from Ramakrishna, Ramana Maharshi or Osho, somebody, when they are in the flesh, then you don't need to go to new master. It may not be needed, but even then usually they guide to a living master, because living around the master is not only living enlightenment, it's a joy. It's an ecstasy. It's a way of life. For that reason they guide. Understand thoroughly. Otherwise, if you have not had connection with them physically, when they were in the body, even they can't do anything. Mahavatar Baba will not be able to give you enlightenment or the spiritual experience. He can only guide you. That is the reason why still that living master's necessary is not replaced at all. It's not replaced. Still, the necessity for living master is there when the whole thing started by Shiva millions of years ago. The only thing which is not yet outdated, which can never be outdated, is necessity of a living master. In the world, anything can be outdated. Like when these products all started, it was all manual. Now, we don't need human beings to create products. There are machines which produces much better machines than themselves. Do you know? There are machines which constantly produces machines much better than the mother machine. It updates itself and produces new machineries. So after 10 years, I really feel you will be paid if you are ready to keep quiet. You don't need to go to job. If you just keep quiet without disturbing anybody, you will be paid. Because the need for human beings and your work will be outdated. Only if you are in the research and development field, your services may be required. If you are just in a working field, your services may not be required. The R&D people are going to tell you, now just keep quiet, eat and sleep, we will pay you. We have automatized everything. If you don't create any trouble, that's enough for us. Now the whole job, the employment industry, this field is going to become like this in 10 years. You will see. Because the working idea is getting outdated. Same way, thousands of things are getting outdated and replaced. But the living master can never be. The necessity can never be outdated or replaced by anything. Anything. Because when he is radiating through his flesh and bones, only then it can be transmitted to the person who is in flesh and bones. You just catch it. I can say, reading thousands of books, listening to thousands satsangs, even that cannot be equated. Sitting with me very deeply, passively, when I am doing my activities, when I am in action, not just teaching, when I am training these brahmacharis, training these brahmacharinis, or doing what I wanted to do, what all I wanted to do, not just teaching. See, when I am teaching, if you sit passively and listen, you will have these great truths entered into your system. Whatever I am doing, even those moments, if you just passively sit and listen, suddenly you will see you are catching it with that vidarka, you are catching the right intention. Even my shouting with such a deep compassion happening, you will look deeper than the layer which is seen by a normal person. You will look the whole picture. You will see the whole picture. Understand? Anything, if you learn to see the whole picture, you are enlightened. That's all. Learning to see the whole picture is enlightenment. Learning to look at the whole picture is enlightenment. It's like a master is nothing but a conscious ball, breathing consciousness. Any moment you get around his breathing space or his nearness, constantly your muscles gets programmed to live the same thing which he is living. Understand this one example. How you create your body. How you create your body. First, I'll start with the example of fish. Fish. When you are fish, you look around, whatever you see will become a samskara in you. See, hear, anything happens through your 5 senses will become samskara. So the fish may see some tortoise, some bigger fishes, different animals. It will just go around. So when it dies, all the samskaras it acquired will be kept in front of him. Tortoise, bigger fish, everything. This guy will have a choice which body to choose. So naturally, if this guy is felt, tortoise is the best animal I have seen and experienced in my life. One important thing, even if that guy sees the human being, he can't take that big jump. He can't conceive. See, many times you can see, you will feel, I am beyond your brain. You can't conceive. Suddenly you will see, oh God, no, this fellow is beyond my brain. I can't conceive. I can't limit. So, yeah, fish, even if he sees the a human being and records it, he can't take that jump. So he will see the possible jump, best possible jump which he can make. So what naturally he will think, oh, see, I can live only inside water. This tortoise can live even outside water. Come on, let me take the tortoise jump. He will take a jump to become tortoise. Then when he is in the water and in the land, when he goes around, naturally he will collect some more samskaras. He will see the crocodile, he will see the pig, he will see the cow, he will see buffalo, he will see all these things. Then again when he dies, all the cards will be in front of him. So naturally what he will think? Oh, I think pig has a bigger body, better ability to eat, and doesn't have the big shell which I am carrying. I think that will be much more comfortable body than this body. This fellow takes a jump to become pig. When he is pig, then again he collects different samskaras. Now he can take the jump. Then he takes the jump of human being. Understand? This is the way I have described very roughly. This is the way of Vishnu's incarnation. Matsavadara, first fish incarnation, then tortoise incarnation, then pig incarnation, then half animal and half man, Narasimha, lion man incarnation. This is the way the incarnations evolve. Understand one more thing. Sometime if you take a too big jump, you will take birth as handicapped. Or you will not have mind, only body. If you have only human body and do not have a clear thinking system, be very clear, you have taken a big jump. You have taken a big jump. When you take a big jump, too big jump, you will take, it's okay, human body is enough, I don't need a human mind. So when you take a quantum jump, full jump, sometime, you may not, you will not be able to take a strong mind or a very sharp mind, but even then you take a choice, it's okay, I'll have a human body. Artistic child, many of them. Many artistic child are big jump, long jump. They say it's okay, human body is enough, no need for full-fledged human mind, just an animal mind is enough. Because, you see, they know the human life is best life, they think. But they can't afford to create the human brain, human mind. They have only some animal mind. It's okay, this much of mind is enough, that body is okay, we will manage with it. They'll try to match it and take a jump. Anyhow, understand this theory. So what this means, whatever you see gets recorded into your system, and next time you take the jump towards that. Now, enlightened being, Avatara Purusha, is the better, bigger, ultimate specie than a human being. So naturally when you see him, when you are around him, when you feel connected, that memory gets recorded in you. That's why I tell you, I can be sure 100%, either this will be your last Janma, or if you want to take birth, you can have only one more Janma, that's all. Not more than that. Not more than that. Because when you take the one more Janma, that time itself, because the cards will be spread in front of you, I will be also one more card, master card. I will also be one more card. See, before you get your Visa card, there will be MasterCard. So naturally, which one you will pick up? Because that will be very shining and bright. These 3 months, if you are given a choice to create a life on your own, you will simply reproduce my life. You may not wear this cloth, that is different. But what I am saying, the inner space. In your life, the best inner space you have seen is me only. You know it. You know it. Sometimes you may not be able to connect through proper relationship. You may not be able to think that you should live around me permanently or that and all is second, that and all is social. But I am the ultimate space which you wanted to create in you. That's a no doubt. So naturally, which one you will pick up? You will pick up the MasterCard only. That is why I am saying, either this is the last Janma for you. When you leave the body, you will decide, come on, let's relax. And you will relax. If you decide at all, rarely, no, come on, let me take one more body. Then the options will be, so many cards will be put in front of in your table. The MasterCard will be naturally very bright, shining. Simply you will pick up this card only. So naturally you will land as an Avatara Purusha. You will land as a Jivan Mukta in the body. So no question of having one more birth. So this is the last or only one more maximum. Understand? Living around the master, your muscles catches this memory. One more thing. Even if you don't meditate or don't live enlightenment after this session, after this LBE, your muscles will not forget me. Your intellect can forget me. Try. But your muscles cannot forget me. When the muscles get heated up, you see, during the death, it will get heated up. Because of the pain. Because of the pain, it will be boiled. The moment it gets boiled, I'll open up. The moment it gets boiled, first thing will open up is me. Means the memory about me in you. The experience of me in you. That is the reason the tradition, Vedic tradition, insists so much on living around the master. Living around the master. Even ordinary things like archery, ordinary arts, even for those things, tradition expects you to live with the master. Understand? There are only 2 kinds of education in the world. One is living with the master and learning. Another one is the school-based system. The school-based is a failure. The classroom-based, few hours you see the teacher and he does some blah, 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 and he goes back and lives on his life, and you live on your life. You live your life. That does not teach. That's a failure system. But living with the master 24 hours. See, 24 hours he can't hide something from you. Living with the master is not only training for disciple, training for master also. He has to be master 24 hours. I'm saying not in an enlightenment zone. I'm saying about this archery and all the other ordinary things. And he also has to teach you continuously. You also have to learn continuously. Of course, once enlightenment happens, he's a master 24.5 hours. Not 24 hours. 24.5 hours he's a master. He has no problem. But even in ordinary things, the Vedic tradition requests and expects people to live with the master. Of course, even for ordinary things, if you need to live around him, what about Jivan Mukti? It's like see, the only difference between you and me is not enlightenment, because you also carry that, I also carry that. In our 7 layers, see, you are having 7 body, I have 7 body. The last 2 body, the cosmic layer and the nirvanic layer, the last 2 layers are one and the same for you and me. Even now, please understand. Even now, the cosmic layer and nirvanic layer is same for you and same for me. There is no difference in that. But this physical, these layers, these 5 layers, that is where the difference starts. So all you need is not enlightenment, but the body language of enlightenment. Please understand. I think all of you catch what I am saying. I think your bodies are all almost like this, only chaos only. It's okay, nothing wrong. It doesn't have to be exact circle. I can say your body is only little this way, that way. See, even to be eccentric, you need a center. I don't think ordinarily we have center even to be eccentric. We are not even eccentric. Even to be eccentric, you need a center. See, this first two layer, this nirvanic body and cosmic body. In this, in that two layers, you are one and the, both of us are same. Only these layers, these outside layers, like a physical, oh God, it's not right. Only these outside layers, like a physical, mental, and physical, pranic, mental, subtle, these outside layers, only there we differ. It means what? You don't need enlightenment. You need enlightened body language. You understand what I am saying? You already have enlightenment. You don't need it. See, the inside, the pure consciousness is there. You can't create that. But the walls, the layers, they all are like a, what to say, covering the original light inside. So now those layers should become like a glass house. Instead of wall, it should become glass. See, in me, the consciousness is same. I have 7 layer glasses around me. You have 7 layer walls around you. That's all. Because of that walls, that light is not radiating. Because I have a 7 layer glass, it is not only radiating, it's just shining. So all we need to do, change your walls into glass. So all you need is enlightened body language, not enlightenment itself. Understand, I am breaking one of the important part. You don't need enlightenment. You need enlightened body language. I don't know whether you are understanding the key difference, the key shift. All you need is see how an enlightened master lives and live the same way. That's all. See how an enlightened, that's why the Bhagavata says, Leela Dhyana is the ultimate than any Nirvikalpa Dhyana. Please understand. There's a big argument goes on in the Bhagavatam. Which one is right? And the Bhashyakara writes very beautifully, I think, Sridhar Saraswati. Sridhar Swami and Atmananda Saraswati. Is Sridhar Swami's technical name is Atmananda Saraswati? I read on Atmananda Saraswati's Bhashya, very beautiful. Anyhow, I'll understand this idea. Apart from Atmananda Saraswati, I myself can vouch for this idea. This is my own experience. If you need enlightenment, you need to unclutch and be in Nirvikalpa state. But you don't need enlightenment. You actually need an enlightened body language. Then all you need to do is not to unclutch and try to achieve that pure inner space. All you need is meditate on the person who is radiating enlightenment and do the same thing in you. Understand? Understand the importance of the Leela Dhyana. Leela Dhyana means seeing the place of a living master and constantly being soaked in it. Nirvikalpa Dhyana means continuously unclutching and settling into that silence. Now you understand the difference between the two. You can continuously unclutch and merge into that silence also, no problem. But I don't know how many years it will take and how long it will take and what all will be the side effect and time, these, that. And actually you don't need to. You don't need to. Instead, meditating on the Leelas. So naturally when you meditate on Leelas of the Master, you don't need to do anything else. Automatically that body language will start expressing in you. The NSP I got a few letters, devotees are telling, after 2-3 days we feel like I'm talking like you, Swamiji. I feel my face is like you. When I close my eyes, and I feel you are me. And sometimes when I see your photograph, I feel it is my photograph. My photograph. How many of you had like this glimpse at least sometime? Once in a while. Raise your hand, let's see. So that whole started happening in you. Means that Leela Dhyana Dwara, that initiation of Leela Dhyana started happening in you. Understand, if this happens, then you are done. If that same feeling starts staying inside you without your effort, you are done, that's all. I think now you understand living around the Master, what it does inside you. What it does inside you. Catching the Master, missing the Master, abusing the Master. Oh God. Is catch that fire and having that strong vidarka, catching that living enlightenment fire and start living. So catching the Master. Missing the Master is unable to catch that fire, but understanding that Master is of compassion, only I am not able to catch it. He is missing the Master. Abusing the Master is no, he is not giving. Understand? The three major things. See, catching the Master means you understand. Straight away relating, having vidarka, experiencing, catching the fire and start living it. Living enlightenment, Jivan Mukti. This is catching the Master. Missing the Master means understanding that you are responsible and you have to catch it. Trying to alter inside you is missing the Master. Abusing the Master means trying to alter the Master. Trying to correct the Master. Understand? Trying to judge him. See, first thing, if you catch the Master, that is the ultimate best. Even if you miss the Master, don't worry, you will come back again. But never ever do that abusing the Master. Gone, once for all. Understand? It's like in Cinefield, if you produce a movie and did not pay the artists, they will complain and your file will be closed. You will not be able to do any movies further. Any movie you try to do, this file will be there. No artist will come to act in your movie. Same way, if you abuse the Master once, please understand, I am not threatening you or anything. Consciously it gets recorded into your system. To anybody your file goes, they will say, wait. Sometime you will see, in a very short time I will pick up somebody and say, hey, come on, you are mine, you will be with me. Sometime you will see, for quite a long time, 4 or 5 years, I will not even turn towards them. I will tell them, meditate, let's see. Means, the file has been already rounded somewhere. Somewhere, you would have done something. The file gets marked. Means inside the consciousness it gets recorded. If you miss, nothing gets recorded inside you. There is a story in Tenali Rama. The king saw the whole country is filled with rats. So he ordered all the houses should have one cat. So he called all the houses and he gave one cat to each guy. And all of them complained. No, we don't have money to buy milk and take care of this cat. Then king donated one cow to all the houses. One cow for milk and one cat to take care of the rats. And after 1 month, somebody came and complained to the king. Many guys are just taking the milk from the cow and drinking it, not taking care of the cat which you gave. So we should get all the cats back and audit whether the cats are healthy. So let us get all the cats back. The moment king ordered, all the fellows did something or other and they brought their cats and almost all the cats are looking healthy. except this Tenali Rama's cat. That cat was almost dying. Only one layer skin around the bones. And the king asked, what happened? What happened to your cat? This guy says, I don't know. This cat is not drinking the milk at all. This Tenali Rama. King said, how come a cat will not drink milk? I am surprised. Tenali Rama said, if you want, keep the milk and see. King ordered for a cup of milk. When it was brought, the cat saw that milk and ran away. It just disappeared. King was surprised. How did you do that? What happened? But king knows this Tenali Rama is a very cunning fellow. And after that, king calls Tenali Rama separately. Tell me, there must be some secret. I just want to understand the secret. I know I will not punish you. Tell me the secret. Then the Tenali Rama says, first time when I gave milk to the cat, I kept hot, boiling milk. The first experience was such a strong samskara, and it got recorded into the cat. Understand? Just like the cat, if it gets disturbed, the wrong samskara gets printed for his whole life. That fellow, wherever he sees not just the milk, any white liquid, he will disappear from the field. Same way, if you burn your tongue by abusing, it gets recorded. It gets recorded by judging or abusing anything. I tell you, even if you don't meet the master, it is perfect. It's like being unmarried. You are open, available, no problem. But if you create the samskara of bitter divorce, done, over. So naturally, if you add a bitter divorce, next person naturally what he will do? He will take more time to decide whether to live with you, or if anybody knows your past that you had a bitter divorce, what will happen? The person is going to wait, think, look, take little more time. The same thing. Understand? That is why I am telling you, even if, one more thing, that is the reason, whenever people come to me from different masters, I tell them, never abuse them. Stop complaining about them. Don't compare me with them. Don't judge. They added something to you. That is why you came to this level. If I add something to you, you may raise to the next level. If I am able to lead you to the ultimate, I am your Sadguru. At some point you feel somebody else can add something more to you. I am not your Sadguru, but at least I have led you to that person. I will evolve you to that level. So be very clear, never abuse. Even if you suspect somebody is enlightened, don't abuse. Don't abuse, don't judge. If you abuse, the file gets completely marked. Not by somebody else, by yourself. By yourself. You will carry that mental setup wherever, whenever you go to a new master. Not only in this Janma, any Janma. Any Janma, your file will always be kept in pending. Always kept in pending. Catching the master is the ultimate. If you can't catch, at least miss, it's okay. Nothing wrong in it. When you find time, come back. Like how I am telling, I'll wait for you. Perfectly all right. But never ever do the mistake of abusing. Abusing is the worst thing. The problem is, these off decisions, that only makes you abuse or judge master. That only makes you abuse or disrespect master. You decide off. Then when I see you are imbalanced, naturally I wait. Then you say, no, he is also Ashramite, I am also Ashramite, but he is given priority and importance, not me. You don't understand. He is complete and you are waiting. Because you are waiting, I am waiting. Then naturally what you will do? Oh, I think it's all power game. The abusal starts. The whole drama starts. So this is a usual drama. At least, actually fortunately I am very happy and safe this does not happen around me, because they see the power physically expressing through me. See, nobody can have doubt about me when they live around me, because they see every word I utter coming true, physically expressing. Naturally, what happens? They understand, no, better if we listen, it's good for us. Otherwise, we will have our own drama. I have seen even the people guys who left, they repent and cry. They only repent, nothing else. Oh God, what did I do? Why did I do? What happened to my head at that time? I don't know. Only these kind of things. See, if you just leave, you will not have any problem. You can always come back. You will always be around me. Even if you are there, I will be there. No problem. But if somebody abuses, the very connection gets disconnected. Not only that, it's like you turning against your muscles. It's like your right hand hitting left hand hitting your face, you slapping yourself. Because you tuned yourself to something, and if you turn, you slapping yourself. What happens to that? Then it's an internal fight. That is why I always tell people, abusing is the last thing. Never ever think. Try to catch. That's the best. That's the best and first. If at all for some reason don't want to be around or in the ashram or connected with the mission, you should be able to peacefully, without abusing or disrespecting, judging anybody, you should be able to peacefully reconcile with yourself. That is the basic qualification to be with the master. If you want, that is the reason I don't accept wealth. I was telling in the last session, I don't accept wealth. I tell them, keep wealth with you. For some reason, after all, you are a human being. There is a possibility. Some reason. I always tell people, be around me as long as you are happy. If you are not happy, try to be around me, then you start creating problem for others. So the first thing, either you should catch or you should miss, but never abuse. The third option should not be an option at all. Because then you create it's like a elephant goes to take bath. If he takes bath and comes back, it's catching. If he doesn't want to get into the water and comes back, he is missing. If he takes all the mud and puts it on himself instead of water and comes back, it is abusing. You understand? If he goes and just says, oh God, instead of water, he takes all the mud and puts it on himself, throws on himself and comes back. And he thinks he has taken bath and come back. So, understand these few things. Living around, catching, missing. Maybe I'll answer your questions, then more and more things can come out about this living around, catching and missing. Come on, write your questions. Abusing the master creates deep imprint in the muscles. What erases that imprint? Suffering. Intense suffering. For ages. For ages. Actually, your skin and all will become like a stone, insensitive. That is what the story, in Ramayana there is a story. Agalya became like a stone. Not literally. She became insensitive, depressed. Then when Rama came and put the foot, she became again all right. Intense suffering. That's the only thing. You see, any other sins you do, master can save you. If you abuse master, nobody can do anything because you said no to him. You said no to him also. He's stretching the hand and he's saying, no, get out. Take your hands off. Who has your hands? So nothing can be done. Swamiji, I read somewhere that brahmacharyam is a must before marriage. So does that mean we live brahmacharya life without taking initiation? Before marriage, see, if somebody wants to get married, but till the time of marriage, living brahmacharya life will be highly powerful. And I can say not only happy married life, even for the intelligent kids, the energy of the nervous system will be very high. And I personally recommend celibacy before marriage. present around you for our muscle memory to be imprinted. Understand? I am omnipresent. If you realize that I am omnipresent, you don't need to be around me. Wherever you are, I'll be there covering you. But till you realize I am omnipresent, you need to be around me physically. Who put the question? Okay. You understand? Till you realize I am omnipresent, it's better to be near. This range is okay. Inside this campus. This campus is practically my own body. You know, under each pole of the fence, there's my garbha. Means the thing which makes me feel how I feel connected to this body. You understand what I am saying? There are some herbs and special things which radiates the energy which is in this very body. Under each pole, fence pole, it is put. Means this whole area, I feel it as my very body. That's why the moment people come inside, they get healed. They start getting healed. This Kalpatarundal, one day they are here, they'll start getting healed. My very body. Adidan, he was Drona. But Drona himself never binds you, see. Your attachment to Drona only binds you. He never bound you. Your idea about him binded you. It's your mistake, not his mistake. So you should never abuse him. That's what I am saying. You are not, that's good. Even mentally, you should only thank him. Once initiation from master, like Healers is given, is it not true that even if he takes next Janma, that master will guide us to enlightenment even though master is also not in the body? Yes, that commitment is true as long as you say no to the master, but you can always break the commitment. You can tell that I don't want your promise, you get out of my life. That is what is abusing. When you abused, you said get out of my life. If somebody does that, then that commitment loses its value. It breaks. Otherwise it is there. My question is, did every enlightened master also have a living master in their lifetime? Incarnations usually will not have a living master when they are in the body. They will only have people who will recognize them in the young age. When we had our astrology chart read, I found out that I have a Guru, Rahu, Sani and Mangal in same house. It was said that I might have going against master. Don't bother about it. Sri Ram, astrology and all doesn't have that big role. You just consciously decide and pray now itself. Even if I go, you should not leave me. You should remind me. If you take that boon, I'll remind you. See, marriage program is not eternal. Even if you are married, it's not that eternally you are going to be living that life. 20, 30 years and you will be out of the torture. See, but sannyas is eternal. That is why the sannyas programming can't be deprogrammed. There will be a lot of confusion. But this program can be deprogrammed. You mentioned that we may come back next Janma, but is it going to happen in Satya Yuga or Kali Yuga again? Nagme, in this Yuga only. Don't bother. Actually, Satya Yuga, Kali Yuga and all is not different time, different place. This place is Satya Yuga. Because you will not see any problems of the Kali Yuga inside this campus, you see. Lot less. So continuously we are working for different Yuga. It's a space, not time. After enlightenment, the whole system becomes different. Actually, after enlightenment, if you can come down normally, settle down, you will live long. The life will be very long. So that is different. That's just sannyasi getting married is different. Don't connect that Sant Jnaneshwars with what I said now. Enlightenment, body language. We live like you live in our own house. We eat, sleep, exercise as you would. What? Correct. As you would. Correct. Yes, do the same thing. Just remember always how I live. How I live. How I live. I am always living conflict free. You will live conflict free. That's all. Over. Anything you do is perfectly alright. How does one know if a master out of his body is guiding a person? Unless you are initiated when he was in the body with him, there is no question of guiding. like people connected to Swaminarayan movement, Yogananda, it's all only bhakti. The ultimate step, they will guide them to the living master. They met him, they were not promised. See, if they were promised, he is enough then. There is no need for any physical master. If he has not promised, then nothing can be done. That by the depth of the feeling connection, that's the only thing. So it is better not to take that risk and play the game. Better to catch the living master. You often refer the marriage to a mistake. If we choose to marry, will you attune us to a new level of understanding so we can experience marriage in a happy, higher conscious experience? I do wish to marry again, this time at a higher level. If you can catch a right person of that higher level, it's possible. All right, raise yourself, then every possibility you will catch a right person, a raised person. How to make sure I catch you? I fully understand intellectually what you are, but I am struggling very deeply to form the connection or even understand what the connection is. I want nothing more than to be fully surrendered to you. How do I do it? Just ask deeply, pray for it, that's enough. The energizations ask, I want to completely be surrendered to you. Ask an energization. I'll record that into your system.
Nityananda was born in the South Indian temple town of Tiruvannamalai on 1st January 1978. Guided by great yogis of Tiruvannamalai, at the age of 12 he had his first Samadhi experience. At 17, he left home and wandered over 9,000 kilometers on foot, meeting different masters and learning different techniques. At the age of 21, he attained the state of ultimate consciousness. Nityananda Mission was started by Nityananda with its headquarters at Bangalore. The mission has now reached 33 countries. With 120 ashrams, 1,500 centers, 30 Vedic temples and over 2.2 million initiated disciples, the mission is spreading the ancient Vedic knowledge and culture far and wide. With the vision of creating an enlightened community, he personally conducts programs like the 21 Days Inner Awakening Workshop.
In this program, I am opening all dimensions so that all human beings can enter. Whatever dimensions, whatever components I have experienced, I am opening everything.
I'm Amar Shah from London in the UK, and I'm an accountant. Coming here to Inner Awakening was probably one of the best decisions I ever made. Every day has just been amazing with just new revelations, new techniques, Swamiji really working on us, and I can already feel the transformation.
Paramahamsa Nityananda conducts Inner Awakening, a 21-day enlightenment intensive course, and Life Bliss Engineering, a 3-month course for having a yogic body and Vedic mind. Visit www.dhyanapeetham.org.